work with me here because I have to re-add some stuff that I've already taken off and broken, but this is going to be a good example of logic flow. And I believe this was the origin that was tested multiple times. Yes. Okay. So what I want to do is talk about why this move broke up, where it broke up to, and what happened. So like what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this replayer tool off here. Okay. So we have a 15-minute origin, right? That's what stops the move. So we look at this and we say, all right, the range exists. Like we can't go above this. If we go above this, we're starting to do floating levels. So like if we spike above this wick here, all of a sudden you're going to say like, okay, well, there's a floating level here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, yeah, you go above this floating level and it actually targets this 4 hour too, which is perfectly fine. I'm not concerned about it targeting the 4 hour. Has no bearings. Fine. I don't know where it goes after this. Not my concern. My concern is like, if we break above this, what are your next set of levels? So you've got a 4 hour combos to the 1, combos to the 15, combos to a final 15, which is a 5-minute break, which is the reverse level plus the hourly hold. I think that's why I say HH here. I think I just didn't color it. I'm just going to color it as blue because I think this was marked as the reverse plus the hourly hold as this level right here, right? Okay, so we got that. So that's fine. We know that if we want to stay inside of this range, we've got to be something along the lines of, either following this trend. This is a 4 hour level. With trend here, it's, that's your 4 hour level. So we got a trend here for the 4. I don't believe we have a daily here, if my memory serves me correctly. Oh, it was a daily too. Okay, so we can just mark this as a daily. And again, trend is just a trend. It's just another level. We are seeing this as a daily level and nothing more. That's all we care about with this. Fine, daily level. Daily levels created. You have a hourly level hold. So an hourly level's job is going to be either get offset by the 15, right? So there's three things that can happen here, right? So I want to talk about the 3 different events that can happen. The first event hitting this hourly level, event number 1, is it hits a 15-minute hold level. If that 15-minute hold level continues to hold, what's going to happen is it's going to offset this and you're going to move up. So that's scenario number 1. You offset this with +1, -1. So this is just a straight up testament to +1, -1 if that 15-minute can hold. Okay. Scenario number 2 is that you create a Pandora's box and you go down to some kind of hourly level. I don't know where it is. I'm just marking a random spot, but then you create your Pandora's box between hourly to hourly to see which 15-minute can break, right? So now you're running through your time frames. You're saying, okay, we've hit a 15-minute level. That moves us up. Hourly equalizes us. Time frame down will then have this in succession, right? So then the third scenario is we go for the 4 hour level, which means that this level being an hourly is attacking a higher time frame, which means it should break the level. So then you would assume that if this hourly, if this hourly can attack a time frame higher, there's 2 spots it can go after. It can go after the 4 hour hold, which in that case would see if that 4 hour can develop a move, or it would go after the 4 hour break because there's two components in that 4 hour as well. There's a 4 hour hold, there's a 4 hour break. So technically, if this were going down and down and down and down and sinking to, the pits of death, or the pits of hell here, it would hit a 4 hour break level, right? Like that's kind of like when we say that out loud, this kind of common sense, like a 4 hour, any break level is meant to break the charts down. So theoretically, if this was targeting a 4 hour level and it hit a 4 hour break level, well, technically we should be moving down. So that's very straightforward, right? Like that's your 3 scenarios that any one level can onset you by. So when you showed me your gold chart and you're saying the daily, I want to see like what's happening on that move to give you the causation that, hey, we can move up. So we're going to do it on Bitcoin here, and we have a 4 hour break level, straight up, just a 4 hour break level. We're going to go to a 15-minute chart at first to see what happens here. So you hit this hourly level, and you're just going to find the greediest 15-minute level. Like you're literally just going to find the greediest 15-minute level right there, right? So this is your 15-minute level. This is what needs to hold if this thing's going to move up. So like if you're going to move up past that, this is our scenario number 1, 15-minute hold. And you can see here where it loses it, back tests it, and then just dumps straight off the face of the earth, right down to whatever this is, 15-minute level or hourly. I'm not sure. I think it was a 4 hour level maybe. Anyways, that's fine. So yeah, okay, fine. 15-minute doesn't hold. You have the ladder point here. You have some kind of trend work like this. Like you've on some time frame. We don't really care about this right now, but on some time frame, you've got some kind of trend work where it hits a trend work first. I don't know if this is a 5-minute trend or a 10-minute trend, or well, clearly not a 10-minute trend, but I don't know if this is a 5-minute trend, a 3-minute, a 1-minute. All I know is it's 2 wicks connected at this point, which will be a trend of some time frame. Don't care. The point is it has to hold this 15 and ladder above this, because then if you ladder below it, you're creating floats to hit above and move down. So logic wise, like this has to hold or we're moving down. Fine. So we confirm that we're not breaking this 1 hour level because the 15 can't offset it. Where's the hourly? The hourly is next. The hourly level is either here or a 15-minute, right? So you can go here, you can go to a 15-minute origin, which would looks like it would can't be right here because that's already broken. So what do you have? You have something like this, that's broken. You have something like this. So you have something like this, right? You have a 15-minute origin, which ends up being your hourly level. It might be close to the same. And that's it right there. Targets your hourly level, right? So that's there. So you have 15-minute here, hourly here. So then this question becomes, are we Pandora's boxing? Are we going hourly to start holding 15-minute levels? Because in this scenario, now you'd have to say like you have to hold the 15 because you're Pandora's boxing. You have to hold this 15, right? You just go forward here and you could see like, actually you could probably see where if you like trailed this to this 15 here and that was hit. And so now you're here at this 15 and this has to hold. And you know, if you don't hold that 15, you can see why this hourly fails. Hourly has a 15 here, ladders to this 15, ladders to this 15. This 15 fails. Back test it, dump straight down to the 4. So now we have like all scenarios being filled in, right? Like this is like perfect because we're starting to get all scenarios filled in. Like you have the 15 fails to the hourly fails to have 15s hold. Now it's going to go to the 4 hour. So the idea here is that this is going to break the move, right? Like you have an hourly attacking a 4 hour break, right? So this is like, okay, well, like we're breaking this move. Like we're breaking this move. Go to the hourly here. Look at how long this thing holds. This thing holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 hours straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 4 4-hour candles hold on this break level. This is rejectionist target in a different way. We are supposed to be using this to break this level. Imagine a level hits and holds for that long. Imagine you have a 4-hour level that's holding for 4 candles. Of course, this is in failure. So when that happens, what you've seen logic flow wise is this is set to break up by holding this 15-minute level. That is not true. It is then set to hit the hourly to Pandora's box, this mark right here. That is not true. It is then set to hit this break level to break this down to a lower range, probably offsetting at the daily, which would have been here or here or here, somewhere on this daily trend. It attempts to break the move. That becomes not true. The 4-hour holds. This level is no longer in play. You are now breaking above that range. You are now breaking. And the only last thing you could have potentially done was hit this 1-hour level. And there's a deep dive to a 5-minute target from back here. So this is the only thing. You can hit the break level. You can deep dive it to the 5-minute. If you are going to stay in this range, this is all that you have is just this. So now we can see how, okay, what's being attacked on the charts time frame wise. Oopsies, we need that. What's being attacked on the charts time frame wise, and where we can see where we can use that logic flow to see where we should get out of the trade. The second this 4-hour holds, right? The second that this 4-hour holds, we know we need to be above this. So our first take profit should be from here to like something like this or this, 600%, because that's the whole point. This 4-hour holds, and then you could go rebuy the 1-hour test. So like the 4-hour ends up holding, and you can go buy like a 1-hour test, like holds, maybe something like this. This 4-hour level here is a reverse, or sorry, this hourly level is a reverse, or whatever. You could have been here. I'm sure this back tests on a lower time frame. It tries to break over top of that. Like you got to get into this trade, right? Like, cause you're even right here, you're trying to break over top of this hourly. You got to get into that trade, right? So then it's very clear as to where this has failed its job to hold this down. So then your first exit becomes up here. And that's to say, even if you are staying in this range, you stay inside of this range and you pull back, right? Because it's going to hit the break and that will fail. So that could have been another point. So then you just hit play. And you can see it goes straight for the 5-minute level. It goes straight for the break level on the hourly. Like it goes from this hourly right here to try to create this as a 4, right? So it's going to sit there and it's going to try to hit it again. And I don't know how low this thing goes. And it does. You see how it tries to hit it again and pull back. So when you actually go to this, you can see it straight up tries. And this is, you know, one of the hourly levels here. And that's fine. We don't care about that. Or, you know, even if you wanted to go from hourly to hourly, you have this hourly and your next hourly is right here. So you can see where this hourly holds above the breakout, and you can see this hourly here. But you can even see this. You delete this, so it's no longer important. You can delete this. This was just interior to the move. You can delete that. You can see where this went and made this the 4-hour level, because now all of a sudden you're at a 4-hour level. Hit the 4-hour, sink to the 1, break past it, right? Because that's exactly what it is. So when you actually follow the logic flow, from the right spot of a trade, like when you're looking at the correct timeframes and the correct levels, your logic flow becomes so clear. It's almost like a joke. It's kind of comical in a way how easy it is to be like, oh, there's a 4-hour level. Let me just go buy a one. You know what I mean? This is about as straightforward as it gets. This becomes the 4-hour. The 1 hour offsets the 4 hour. This goes straight over top of it. Like literally just says like, okay, fine. We're just going to go. You could have just ripped it right to this 4. You could have just said here to here and you're up 360%. I don't even know where this thing goes from here. I think it's going for the next 4-hour level actually. Yeah, it went for the next 4-hour level because then you have this range here testing all this deeper dive stuff. And now you have this 4-hour here. And really this is the float level right here where it's really supposed to go. So even from here to like here or here, anywhere. The point being is that you can see how acutely accurate that logic flow can be. As long as you have the right levels marked, you can see exactly where that is. So what I want you to realize is like any level, there's a mentorship lesson we did that I'd like to play for you about the function of hold levels. You haven't seen that. And I think it would be very valuable for you to watch because it's something I haven't taught yet. It's called the form and function. And we do it for every single topic. But I think this would specifically be valuable for you right now in this moment, because that's what this is talking about here for logic flow. Do you and I already know this is true, but I have to ask, you follow absolutely everything I said, right? Like this all makes sense to you? Yeah. And 100%. Yeah. And this is really where like I looked at your trade and I'm like, okay, but where can we see in the oil chart? Like I can go to my oil chart here, commodities. That's going to be CL1, I believe, oil. Yeah. You can see here where like, whatever brought this thing down. And I'm not sure, like your chart may be slightly different, whatever brought this thing down, which I'm assuming is some kind of origin right here. Yeah, I don't want to goose hunt this thing, but whatever brought this down, if you see the right logic flow, you can see exactly what you're supposed to be buying, purchasing, why, where, and what. Like there's literally no confusion. There's nothing that you just have to get the right levels. And, you know, even here, like you got a break level, that's fine. What about here? You like, as long as you see the right levels, your logic flow becomes so crystal clear.